I'm going to allow you to experience good quality air for the first time in a long
This is not
time.
good quality in here?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Okay. Oh my, it's just like a lightning storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right afterwards, you know, when you get that really crisp air.
And what happens there, lightning storm creates ionization in the atmosphere. Ionization creates a lot of oxygen, so it's that ozone smell that you get, right? But that's a natural occurrence in nature. This is CES. We should be talking about these types of technologies, right? So let's go ahead and discuss the Chapman cycle real quick, right?
Okay.
What happens with our ozone layer? We have our solar arrays that's coming out that has solar dust in it. That solar dust has bacteria, harmful bacteria. Our ozone layer protects us from that, right? What's in our ozone layer? O3, that's 3 parts oxygen, right? Right below that is the bombardment cycle. That's the nitrogen elements, right? That's bombarding it because it's catalyzed by the UV sunlight. UV energizes the nitrogen to bombard the ozone that turns that O3 into O2 as it comes down to our atmosphere, and that's what we call air, right? This is that entire Chapman cycle in the palm of my hand.
So is there like an oxygen cartridge, or how is this working?
That's the whole idea. So it actually takes in the N2O2, or what you call air. It ionizes the air at a catalyst sieve. Once it ionizes it, it disassociates the oxygen from the nitrogen and the volatile organic compounds. Nitrogen becomes a radical. Ozone is now formed because the oxygen is now combining, right? Now we add sunlight. We need the solar. UVC allows the nitrogen to bombard that ozone that was created in that kill chamber, creating a 95% pure oxygen on the output. No filter, chamberless filter. I mean, just catalyst sieve, nitrogen plasma, creation of ozone, disassociation of ozone to pure air on the outside. So all it's doing is taking bad air in. Anything that goes through ozone is going to totally dismember it and allow pure air to be generated on the outside.
Because ozone, for example, I mean, if you put it in a smoke-filled room, will just clear out the smoke just
Quickly,
like this.
quickly.
Yeah, it oxidizes it in the air. Correct?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So ionization, we call this ionization or disassociation of volatile organic compounds.
So my mom, for example, wears oxygen, right? I mean, would this be a replacement for her doing that?
Tankless oxygen. No tank, no charger. You can charge this with your phone charger. And this is actually the size that a lot of Uber drivers and Lyft drivers had this in their car during COVID. There's a reason for it, you know?
So you're thinking, I mean, obviously health reasons for like my mother, but you're also thinking that if you have a car that does not have the features that your car has, they can just adapt it with this.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, look, air quality is one of the biggest discussions that we should have, because air is what you consume most. I don't care what you had for breakfast today, you had more nitrogen than you had anything else. Carbon is actually your fuel. You're going to burn that off, but you actually are fueled by that nitrogen, right? And that nitrogen and oxygen. And just for the viewers out there, you hear me speaking about nitrogen. I know a lot of you are saying, "Hey, I thought I bred oxygen." Well, it's 78% nitrogen in our atmosphere. Only 22% oxygen. So your largest consumption is nitrogen.
So what about homes that have mold and all that stuff?
All of that.
Help all.
So I have the larger versions of this.
Okay.
This is the handheld. This is sunlight in a bottle, right? But the larger versions are from here to even water sterilization in the same process. Think about this. You guys all went through the COVID, and if you purchased a sterilizer, it had a filter on it. So then you captured all of the bacteria that you were trying to protect yourself from. Okay, now change the filter. Did anyone tell you to put a hazmat suit on?
No.
Because that bacteria continues to grow, right? So it was worse when you were changing it out than the whole time that you were protecting, quote unquote, yourself from it. This is filterless. This is the way God intended it. It's kind of like it's a God device for the most part. When I say God, I'm literally speaking about the way nature intended it, right? That's why we say I can't even take credit for creation of this, because it's true mimicry in engineering. I literally try to do the same thing that our world was built out of, you know? This is a Consumer Electronics Show, so I'm gonna give you a throwback. The Philco television, right?
Yeah.
Everyone had a Philco TV at one point in time in their life, and as a kid, you would throw a sock or a t-shirt on the face of it and it'll stick, because it created a lot of static, right? So it also created a lot of dust, right? You ever wonder where that dust came from?
I would say the decay of human skin.
And that's what they've been telling us, right?
Oh, so it's not.
So this is a big educational moment. I need a close-up. So I'm just playing. So picture, if I told you that when you exhaled,
Yep.
that was the CO2, right? So let's break that down into elements: carbon and oxygen.
Yes.
Right? And if I told you that Philco TV was actually electrifying by a static radiation, that CO2 that you emitted, crystallizing the carbon and allowing the oxygen to bond to another nitrogen so you can have air in your house. Your air that you exhaled became the dust that was on that TV.
Interesting.
Science 101. It's Dr. Leo Alexander, founder, CEO of Noidavani. I enjoyed this moment with you, brother.
It's been good.
No,
It's been good.
no.
Thank you.